Well, hey Libra, how about a reading from your metal dog today? I'm going to start out with an oracle card from a new oracle deck that a friend gave me called Roots and Wings. And let's just see what we get for you. What's going on with you, Libras? It's a beautiful deck. The front of the cards is really worth looking at too. And you get a wish today. This is your wish. I think of like the star, the wish fulfillment of the star. Boy, I know this feeling of being a dandelion about ready to burst. So perhaps there is some kind of wish fulfillment for you today. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to start with the Mystic Mondays deck. The Chariot wanted to jump right out. So perhaps you've got some momentum going right now. I feel nervous about Libra readings, so I'll calm down. I watched this great video by Cindy on Awakening to Spirit where she said that all of her Libra readings end up being portals. So that's pretty cool. And I thought a little bit about that. Like what's in Libra? What house on your chart is in Libra? For people in my generation, Uranus is in Libra. So there's this revolutionary creativity in Generation X as a result of that. What else is there? I believe Mercury's there for me, and Mercury's in retrograde, but your chart will look the way your chart looks. So check it out. And then watch some real astrologers. Okay, I'm going to give you an advice reading. And we're in retrograde, so we'll look at something that you need to revisit along with a few other pieces to the reading here. So we'll just jump right into it. So the tarot wants you to release the Princess of Cups. This is a youthful, emotional energy. And this could be a person that is represented by this Princess of Cups or some kind of way that you're going forward in the world. The tarot wants you to embrace the Emperor. This is great. That's quite a shift from the Princess of Cups to the Emperor. It's as if you need to become this very alpha, decisive, or listen to your boss or something like that. Yeah. Let's hope not. Let's clarify for sure. What we want to revisit, well, Saturn is currently in retrograde, as is Mercury, and we'll soon have Jupiter in retrograde as well. So there's some kind of, this is your wish, the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups is a card of wish fulfillment. This is what you want to revisit. It can mean something like you change your idea of what a wish fulfillment is, or you wished for something in the past, and now you're returning to this somehow. And so if we think about the ground that Saturn, it's just a visual illusion, right? That it's going backwards. From here, it's going backwards. It's going back across the territory that it covered since February. Saturn is. So that's all your structural power, structural relations. And since we have the Emperor here who represents structure, that might be another important detail here. Sorry, I'm gonna have this very half black and white face, it looks like. So the next card is, what does the tarot think you need to know? This is something hidden from you usually, and that is the Five of Pentacles. This is a feeling of being left out, a feeling of abandonment. You can see the rest of my house reflected on the card there. Anyway, yeah, it's a very dark place, the Five of Pentacles. And usually what you're doing when you're in a Five of Pentacles is you feel left out, but in fact the door is open. If you can see here that she can walk up the stairs and there is a passageway ahead of her. And I'm reminded of that portal represented by Libras here, that portal to social justice. And interestingly, on the table, she's looking backwards at the Nine of Cups. So sometimes what happens is we get abandoned, we feel abandoned, and then we press it down and we forget about it. We avoid it, we deny it. It looks like you've been doing some kind of light, keeping it light here. And the cards are telling you it's really time to get serious again, Libra. And it has to do with something that you really want, this wish. But you haven't looked at some feelings here. But we'll clarify and see. Should you take the advice, there is another image of structural power or of perspective, of wisdom, the mentor teacher card of the Hierophant, who can represent our spiritual institutions. It's often a card that's very challenging for me, but what I see in this particular image is this view, this perspective from a high place, a high place. So a place of ascension, which seems to me to be a place that is selfless. It's almost disembodied because we just have this I. I also think of the almighty dollar because this image appears on the dollar bill. So there's a lot of somehow really embrace is the word for this card here of the Emperor. There's some structural power here that is wrapped up in your emotional fulfillment, your wish fulfillment, and this feeling of abandonment. Let's see, on the bottom of the deck we have just a Six of Swords here, and then it goes reverse. And the Six of Swords is talking about movement and can be literally moving from one place to another. But I think of it because the swords are of the mind and of our philosophies and ideology. This can be about that kind of movement where you change your mind in a way so that you find calmer waters when you are able to change this perspective. Okay, so let's clarify. I'm going to use this new, so it's very similar to the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. I'm going to use this to clarify today. All right, so you're to release the Princess of Cups. Let's find out more about that. There is death. Something has changed dramatically. You've been through transformation. This is probably why you're maybe keeping it light. Double whammy. There's a Tower. There's a little bit of you've been through something, my friend. Major life change. A little bit that you have willingly sought out, and some of it that was out of your control that the universe is like, well, you also need to change this. This is built on shaky foundations. Wow. And then there is the nice little page, sort of a solid 3D new beginning. The Page of Pentacles represents. So this is a very young energy here that is built around a massive ending, a massive transformation. But you're coming out of it really solid. It's just you're also kind of keeping it a bit light for some reason. I don't think we have to wonder why. It's a restful thing to do to keep it light. But the cards are saying it's time to move on from that, okay? In a very solid 3D Page of Pentacles way, okay? And then embrace the Emperor. So is this you? Is this your mode of going about the world that the tarot wants you to now move from being this light hearted to serious decision maker of your own life? Or is this somebody in your life who is the Emperor? Let's see what the tarot wants you to know. Let's see what the cards say. Okay. Wow. Yes, I feel that this is apparent. There has been change, but it is in your favor. Luck here. The Wheel of Fortune. Things are changing. Embrace this change. Again, it feels like a structural change. That's why the Emperor is here. So it's much more in the realm of social justice work, of doing something very practical towards that end. But let's see more. Yeah, there's an expectation, a waiting, an openness here. Your ships are coming in. You manifested something, and you're watching it come in as the Wheel of Fortune turns. And there is your wish fulfillment. There's the Star. It's a card of healing. It's a card of divine support and help. And it is your wish. I'm not surprised that we see that because we are under the Oracle of the Wish. We can make this light up a little bit. Okay. It's a summer night. You got the windows open. You can hear the neighbors. Fan going. But it's already pretty dark here by 8 in Arizona. So you're supposed to revisit your idea of wish fulfillment because your wish is coming in. The wheel is turned in your favor. It's something that you manifested, and it is coming in after the end of the world basically happened for you. Death and the Tower. That's underneath this sort of keeping it light, emotionally mode. And there's nothing here saying that you don't need, that you're gonna, you need to get deep emotionally. But there's definitely big structural change that is happening. And it's something that you manifested. It is your wish. So I hope you wished for something good because it feels grand. It feels global, this wish, Libra. Let's look at it. This 9 of Cups. You manifested it. What is it? There's the Page of Wands. The pages in this deck look very old. So every time I get one of the pages, I'm like, that guy's really old. He doesn't look like a boy. Right? Could you see that? What was the other? Yeah, here's the Page of Pentacles. Not at all young. They're very masculine, craggy, bearded. You can see from the Page of Wands that he's dressed in an unusual fashion. I think of Aquarians dressing that way, your fellow air sign, Libra. The Page of Wands is somebody who can be from a foreign land. As your queer tarot reader, this is the card of the queer for me. This is the person that brings a perspective that is not normative, that is from the outside, that is looking at structure and power and the organization of society and going, well, why do you do it that way on your planet? There's other ways of doing things is what the Page of Wands means. And this is a kind of young energy. I feel like this is very much a force in our world, and perhaps you, Libra, are young and you represent this queer viewpoint or this critic. I feel like this card has something to tell us about what your idea of wish fulfillment has been, and maybe will help you revise that. Yes, there is the Fool. So the world ended, and then you're starting out on your new journey here, and you're keeping it simple. Your little dog's a little worried about you walking off the edge here. And, no wonder. There's a 10 of Swords here. Okay. So you had a wish, and your wish is going to be fulfilled, and you manifested it, and it's coming in, right? But it looks like you have a chance to look again at maybe what the contents of your wish, because a part of this is it's a very young, new energy, a kind of leap of faith energy. And there's the Page of Cups on the bottom here. That one is young. There's another fantastic outfit, actually. Those bloomers are, yeah, there's a real contest here between these pages for the Snazzy Dresser Award. Okay. The pool's looking good too. Why am I thinking about your clothes? About the way you dress, Libra? It seems like there's something maybe that you might want to get deeper in the way that you're wishing, right? Because you have this moving away from this light page energy. This is another page, is your Page of Cups. This is what you're moving away from. The world frickin' ended. Then you get a Page of Pentacles, new beginning, okay? Things are turning in your favor. There's structural change happening. There's something that you manifested. It's a wish, and it's coming in. Star tells you, here's your wish, it's coming in. Everything's telling me that you're getting some kind of wish fulfillment. But there is something about what you wished for that's shallow, right? It's in the level of fashion. It's exterior. There's a shallowness about you that is actually not that Libran deep portal into space, into the, that social justice impulse with Libra. Yeah, it feels like you're deep and an intellectual, and you can get a lot deeper than you're getting. But you've asked for something. I mean, maybe after going through death in the tower, you just want it to be easy. And that's what this is about. You just want it to be easy after suffering. You just want a new start, and you want it to be light. And it's okay if we revisit your wish and you're like, yep, I'm doubling down on that wish. And then Saturn's going to go forward, and again, you can look at it and you can double down on it again. You can triple down on this wish if you want. You're totally, as a sign, known for the visual aesthetic part of joy in living. And if that's what you want is great fashion, something very artful and creative here. That's okay. It's just there's this 10 of Swords here, and then the hidden influence of the 5 of Pentacles. What I'm getting from the cards is that you're basically trying to press this 5 of Pentacles down. Maybe you're buying things, consumption, something shallow. You're doing something that is about avoiding your pain. So let's find out a little bit more of this 5 of Pentacles. And I totally respect that as a legit way of going through pain as a process. It's a part of a healing process. For some reason, though, the cards want you to think a little bit more deeply about, okay, yeah, so there's a moon journey in that you need to know. You have to go through those pillars. That's a Fool is setting out on this journey, actually, here. That's card 0. The moon is a big number here. It's card 18, so it takes you a while to get here, if you're starting from the Fool here, when you first made this wish. But at some point, because you have a 5 of Pentacles that you're not dealing with, you will have to deal with the darkness and feel this 10 of Swords, feel the Tower, feel death. You're starting to have like all of the pain cards on the table, which are mixed with all this lightness, luck, youthfulness, and there's something structural here. That's what I feel like with the Hierophant being in the future, like there's something bigger that you're needed to do, that you're called towards, but it's hard for you to do that because you're hurting. Yeah, and the Six of Swords is the card that's on the bottom of the first deck, and you get this here. This is your movement, social justice, movement, structural change, a moon journey that takes you somewhere where you're really calm, right? In the Six of Swords, you leave waters that are disturbed. You can kind of see the edges in the background, and you're heading towards that island where it's calmer, right? So this can be happening in your mind. It looks like, taking a trip through the dark here into the moon, looking into the deep places that are unexplored, unexamined, where you've been putting your pain from this Five of Pentacles that we're clarifying right now. And thirdly, yeah, the Philosopher King, the King of Swords. Boy, does he look tired. The truth is, this is how you feel. This is an air sign. This is a card of air. You are an air sign, Libra. This is a dark, wise, sad warrior. He doesn't want to go to battle anymore. He's tired. He's wise from it. He's sad from it. He's a deep dude. You are deep. You have to go deep. There's all of these fancily dressed goofballs here. The Fool, the Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles, and then there's the Moon and the King of Swords underneath this, the hidden influences. So when you don't deal with something, if it's hidden, it's gonna run your life. It's gonna guide your life until you deal with it, Libra. So whatever this is, this sorrow, this is an abandonment card, feeling left out. All you have to do is, and I feel like it's just so glary, but you just have to go up the stairs and down this tunnel. And yeah, it's a dark journey under the moonlight. You have experience here. You know the truth of this because the King of Swords is here. And you do have the Wheel of Fortune and the Star here with you. You have divine support for this journey. Should you choose to take it, the future is the Hierophant. There's that perspective, that wisdom. It seems to me to be a different kind of structural power from this one. There's something here about your responsibility for structural power that it's all around your reading, and I can almost not talk about it because you're so not, you're dark and tired and sad. No wonder you are. It's been like you have dealt with all the darkness and you don't want to do any more revolution. You just want to do fashion. You just want to do yay. Saturn, who's kind of a grumpy planet, who's like, hey, we got to get serious, is like, we're going to have to look at structures here. Sorry, Libra, you're our justice. You're the card of justice. So let's see. What do we get here in the future? Should you take this advice? Go on this moon journey. What do you do for us, Libra? Do you bring to yourself and to, what perspective? A higher perspective. Oh yeah, here you are. You're tired. Nine of Wands. This is, I've been struggling. I'm almost done. I want to be done. Wise. The wise struggler. Exhausted. There's that Five of Pentacles. This is a card about poverty. It's also a card about spiritual institutions, religious institutions, and being left out of them. One person is disabled. This, to me, another reading of the Five of Pentacles. This is another image of that. This is a much more internal sorrow. This one is social inequity. This is social inequity. This is the hard worker who's been conked over the head. This is the revolutionary, the radical, the passionate fighter who's exhausted. And there's the Three of Cups. There's a party at the end with your friends. I'm reminded of a shirt my dad used to wear. If I can't dance, I don't want to be a part of your revolution. It's a quote of a woman, radical Latina revolutionary. I don't remember her name, so I will look that up, and I will now know the name if that ever comes up again. But there is a revolution here that the cards are pushing you towards. They understand that in order to get there to facing and dealing with injustice in our world, structural inequity, you need to pick yourself up from what has been clearly a much more personal crisis. This personal crisis has led you to aspire to very shallow, beautiful aesthetic goals, like great fashion. I can relate to that a little bit, as we come out of Corona. Like, we're seeing other people, and I joined a gym, and I've lost some weight, and feeling better in my clothes, feeling much more comfortable in my skin. But I'm trying to also make that be about being my best self, so that I can enter with power into what I know. We are entering into a time where we're going to get together, and we're going to fix this world together. We're going to change these structures. We've had enough. And of course, I've had enough my whole life, and maybe you have too, Libra. But just a little bit longer. We got to deal with these injustices, and don't forget, to make. There's joy in it, and this is a part of the way that we can bring together this desire to be light, and the queer's critique of what is the queer critique structure. This sort of, you can't dress great. It's not just about fashion, it's about revolution, right? It's about challenging norms for what is fashion. I read a really great article about how people are rebelling, and historically people have rebelled against the way that fashion can be elitist and so expensive, and coming from these New York and Paris, these elite places. And so there can be a kind of everyday person's rebellion, and part of that has been a part of feminism. For example, women saying, nope, we're going to be wearing pants now after World War II. No, we're not going back in the kitchen. We've been working with Rosie the Riveter. I don't know. My grandmother was one of the early pants wearing women. So I think that it's possible to combine your aesthetic sensibility, Libra, with the deeper transformative work that you're clearly called to do here. And on the way to doing that work, the cards understand you need to deal with this very personal sorrow through, a moon journey here. It doesn't show you hermiting alone. It actually suggests that movement, like in the movement, in being of service and working against injustice, therein lies your freedom. Yes, in this movement is the result of being this philosopher king, this one that knows, who's tired and deep and wise from that pain and brings that to the world in the way that the Hierophant can. Yeah, wow, air sign. Let's see what's on the bottom here. There is one card on the bottom, and this is a Four of Wands. And this can be, if your personal loss was a relationship, this can be a happy love life. It's also a party. It seconds this emotion here of the Three of Cups. It's you with the people that get you, with whom you are authentic, with whom everything is on the surface. It is stable. It is joyful. To me, this underlying card is much more than about your personal happiness. And this whole reading is about jarring you out of that self-centeredness that comes from surviving sorrow and pain, anguish, and wanting to walk towards a new day and never ever get hurt again. This reading says the way to do that is to do what you do best, which is seek justice on a structural level, not just joy and beauty for yourself. It's a pretty cool way to rethink your wish, Libra. I hope this reading helps you, and I'm sorry that you've been through death, the Tower, the Ten of Swords, the Five of Pentacles. That's a painful thing that you've been through, whatever it is. And the cards are simply suggesting a way for you to recover from that and respect whatever you choose. Go ahead and get that new outfit on your way to the demonstration or whatever that may be, whatever your work is, to make the world better. Thank you for letting me be your reader.